The Rockets are putting belt right now to Cavs. 70-56. Damn. KD already got 25? Damn, they gave basically no rest. Alright. We get a double Luka, I swear to Christ. How much I promise you.
Slicing the NBA schedule into 10-game increments. Is that something that you recall when you played?
Well, keeping focus on portions of a long season can keep players focused, especially during road trips. Big goals are reached through small steps.
Let's check out Pittsburgh starting lineup. Rui Hachimura out there with Jalen Duren. Then it's Austin Reaves. Then there's Jonathan Kuminga. Hachimura with a screen on Doncic. Two open that time.
There we go, Walter Clayton.
The real come at us, and we're
Junior.
coming right back at you. Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain a triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
KD can't get it to go. About a minute played so far here in the first. Reaves against Nurkic. Just 5 on the clock. Hachimura setting the pick for Reaves. And it's off from three-point range. The three from KD. Scores
Damn.
the basket. Nice shot. It was in his first attempt.
No hesitation from the swing man. Durant has such confidence shooting off the catch. Tremendous.
Outside, Kuminga. Hachimura with a screen on KD. From 15 feet away. Rebound by Nurkic. Lakers have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. Outside for KD. No good with the triple.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice.
Why'd you just dunk it, Duren?
Now here's Durant. He's someone who's a factor on any given night, averaging 22 points a game.
Outstanding and penetrating to the rim. Durant's long strides, they're just tough to keep pace with.
Kuminga with it. Guarded by KD. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Here's Kuminga. And Kuminga throws it down.
Ooh, just powered it down with both hands. You know he's not going to mess that one up.
Oh, no, not this fella. He is a superb finisher. To the paint. It's stolen by Kuminga. Here's Reaves. Hachimura with a screen on Doncic. Clock at 4. And a dunk by Hachimura.
And that's impressive mobility there. Hachimura is tough to stay with given how quick he rolls in these sets.
When you want a momentum swing, RJ, get Jonathan Kuminga in there. He can do the job.
We know that, Kevin, because we see his energy shift in the game. He defies expectations and even sometimes gravity with all the things he can do on the floor.
Drills the three-pointer. Hachimura's got 5 points so far.
More of an inside-the-arc guy. Hachimura can be dangerous from range.
Back to Doncic. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Duran with a screen on Vanderbilt. Hachimura finds Duran. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. You'll gladly take those.
Vanderbilt misses. Looking at Los Angeles, they took the win in their last game against the Jazz.
And the bench turned up.
There we go, Rui Hachimura. 2 straight threes.
Their starters they got from the reserves.
For a number of reasons, depth seems to become more important every year.
And here's Nurkic after Rui Hachimura gets his shot to go from deep. Kuminga against KD. The shot, no good.
Slow going for him this quarter. The defense putting up a good fight.
Duran sets the screen for Hachimura. Duran the pass to Hachimura. Back to Duran. And Duran slams it in.
Oh, you expect Rui to finish that play, but when a guy is this open, he makes a quality pass.
Now here's Doncic. Coming off a stellar performance against Houston. And the dunk by Vanderbilt.
Just a textbook lead pass right there, putting it right where it needed to be.
To the left side wing. And so the ball's out of bounds. Vanderbilt touched it last. Okay, with this break, let's run down the point guards, the most assists in the league in the past 10 games. Second, Luka Doncic.
And these are the best passers in the NBA. No question about it. Every one of them is willing and able to be the floor general out there and make sure the offense is running at full speed.
It's fun to watch these guys in action. Their creativity, the vision they have, it's point guard play at its best.
And here's Exum. After Rui Hachimura gets his shot to go from deep. And here's Doncic from the arc. Down it goes for his third basket in as many tries.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
This is today's NBA. Hey, we see this kind of exchange more often than not.
And again, it's Pittsburgh. On the wing, Reaves. Guarded by Doncic. That one's in there. The Lakers. Leaders cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Reaves.
He's so skilled in that screen role. I like watching Reaves break down the defense.
And so, in the game for the Force, Jonathan Kuminga out there with Rui Hachimura. Then it's Austin Reaves. Then there's Max Christie. And it's Duran in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Pass to Vanderbilt. Just 5 to shoot. Durant in the corner. Pulls up. Pittsburgh pulls it in. Iguodala's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Hachimura setting the pick for Christie. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. Lakers lead by 3. Durant deciding where to go with it. Pass to Nurkic. Intercepted. To the middle. Here's Hachimura. And the dunk by
There we go, Rui.
There are so many ways Hachimura gets the job done.
Doncic against Christie. And here is Vanderbilt. The shot's good on the assist by Doncic. Doncic has got his 7th assist in the game.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Caldwell Pope outside. Hachimura setting the pick for Caldwell.
Damn.
And they're unable to get the time basket there. Here's Durant. That one misses.
This shot's just, it's not there right now with this team leading. Perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
Hachimura with a screen on Doncic. That one's in there. The Lakers lead is cut down to just one on the bucket from Hachimura.
Well, Hachimura's inside-out scoring ability is what makes him so valuable to their offense.
Doncic.
He's just been brilliant today, guys, and it was the same exact story last time out.
Here's Hachimura. 19 points in the game. Down low. Here's Iguodala.
Oh, why, thank you very much.
He can really fly it. You combine that, Craig, with some nice penetration. And you've got 2 points. Vanderbilt kicks to Exum. Doncic passes to Durant. Shot clock at 6. On the wing, Iguodala grabs the rebound. Iguodala's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Pittsburgh working the ball around. Back to Hachimura. Inside, Nurkic with the steal. Exum deciding where to go with it. Out to Doncic. Pass to Vanderbilt.
2 minutes remaining in the first
Outside
half.
Durant. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And no questioning the greatness of Kevin Durant. But, Greg, trying to get back into championship contention.
Yeah, and since his 2 titles with the Warriors, disappointment with the Nets and Suns, can he get a shot at another ring?
Jones checked in for Hachimura.
Stumpy joined, but other than that, it was no one.
From Durant. Richard, one thing we see in this league, teams changing coaches much more often than they change.
Oh,
Yeah, one guy picks the players, the other guy coaches the players. Seems like a shared responsibility, but the job security?
it's because he wanted you to beat Nolan so he can get the first seed.
3 points for him the last game against the Clippers.
Putting others before himself.
You weren't gonna get it.
Emphasis. Hey, I wish I played with more guys like him.
No, you have more AFC losses than he does.
On him, oh, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, because he lost to the Lions and he lost to the Bills.
And been successful 3 times. In transition, here comes Pittsburgh.
Well, then it's probably because he
As well.
it
Hey, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stance for Pittsburgh.
From the very start of this game,
because it goes on AFC losses.
using good pressure to force turnovers and get steals.
You also lost to them.
How about the way they decimated the opposition?
Yes, but you also lost.
An impressive number of second chances.
Jake LaRavia is checked in for Los Angeles.
It shouldn't matter.
Oh, here's Doncic. He's got 14.
So who did you lose to? You lost to 2 teams.
What do you see in what Luka Doncic sees
Okay.
on the floor?
Well, Kevin, I think he's trying
It's probably because you what's the point differential?
he seems to find a way to get players involved.
No, I'm telling you, that's probably what it is.
He's got 5. To the inside. Here's Iguodala.
Nice pass by Reaves, reading the floor. That's one of his strengths.
Because his losses have all been close.
There's 38 seconds left to play here in the half. From the line. And it comes off the front of the rim.
You're not going to
Yeah, but you lost by 30.
plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on it.
Yes, but you also lost by 30
Now,
to Gavin.
he's tightly
So that's going to hurt your point differential.
Christie with the rebound.
And he's usually able to score on that type of defense rather easily.
Yes, it does. Because how else are you? How are they going to give you? How are they going to give you the first seed if you have a worse point differential?
Reaves as he lets it go. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there, that makes that an easy
first half, fairly even battle underway in this one. It's Pittsburgh. They're up by 5. 2K Sports. Back in a moment here in Los Angeles.
What's the point differential, Stumpy?
Hi everyone, let's start
Wesley, are you in the league?
the month award recipients.
Are you in the league right
And
now?
of course the studio analyst of the month awards have been announced as
No,
well. And
Wesley, the
here's
NBA
the
league.
recipients.
Well, it's got to be Shaq and myself. I mean, who else are they going to pick?
No, I'm being sarcastic. Yes, the
Sorry
Madden
guys,
league.
it says Ernie and Ernie. They gave it to me twice. Maybe you'll do better next week.
Okay.
And
When you
returning
have a
on the
chance,
subject
can you
of
get
this
me on?
game, a
Can you
solid
tell me
first half
the
Pittsburgh force.
points for scored
This is
and
the
points
red zone.
against for Nolan, and then points scored and points against for
Big
Stumpy?
Jet. Man, I know you love this big fella. No need to take a million jumpers. Work with the rock down low. Good things will happen, don't you know?
Okay. Yeah, but that's not that is not
That's
the
all
point.
for us. Now
The
it's time to
defense
send you
doesn't
back
it
to
doesn't
Kevin
matter about
Harlan
defense. It
for the
matters about
beginning
point
of the third
differential.
quarter.
It does matter because if you have the same AFC wins,
Second half action for
if
you
you have
here
the
so far.
same record,
Evenly
if you have the
contested
same
game.
NFC
One
wins,
guy who's been getting it
and
done
you have
is
the
Rui
same division
Hachimura.
wins,
And if he can keep shooting from deep
then
like he did
and you guys are not in the
against
same
the
division, so
Patriots,
it's gonna have to go. And you guys didn't play each other this year, so it's gonna have to go based on point differential.
More difficult on him.
That's how it's always been.
And Pittsburgh with the possession here. They've led by as much as 10. We've got Durant, Jared Vanderbilt out there with Nurkic. Then there's Luka Doncic. And it's Exum.
Okay. Let's do the math real quick. All right. So what was Nolan's score? Hold on. No. What's Nolan's score? 682. How many points has he given up? All right. So he has a point differential of 230. Hold on. West. So Nolan has a point differential of 232. Right. What is Stumpy's point scored? 558. How many points has he given up? He has 145. That's the difference.
That's
He has the
just
difference
enough
of an
fire as
80
we get
point
into the
differential.
second half.
and really as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the
So if you
sense
don't lose
that
to
this
Gavin by
team
80 fucking point,
is
I mean 30
ready
fucking
for
points,
the
then you
stretch.
probably would have gotten it.
Pittsburgh leading by 8.
Yeah, but
Reaves
that's what I'm
with it.
saying. Like he scored so many points that he just put it in cruise control, and
Three-pointer. And again, it's Pittsburgh with a 3.
And you can't let Reaves get sat in these corner spots because you will get torched.
okay,
Doncic
but
kicks to
look what
Vanderbilt.
happened. Like the point differential. I keep telling you this. He scored all of his points in the third quarter. He puts it in cruise control in the fourth.
On Kuminga. Finished off by Nurkic.
At the end of the day, you have your point differential is lower than his. That's why he has the higher seed.
Got to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
And that could be the spark they needed to make a little run as they try to even this thing out.
Here's Kuminga. Vanderbilt with the rebound.
Give the defender credit, willing to challenge the shot. Lots of other guys just let them score there.
And out of bounds as Pittsburgh gains possession. A little ways to go between now and the three-point contest, but it's always fun to talk about it. Let's
Hey,
see
Austin
who
Reaves is
has the
third on the
best shot
list.
to earn a spot in this year's event.
And maybe this list changes between now and All-Star Weekend, but I don't think anybody would be disappointed if it stays exactly the same as it is right now.
He's got a place in the three-point contest within his reach. I hope he makes it because I know how much this would mean to him to be a part of the event.
I mean, that's a good call, Kevin. He's the type of player that can really deliver on a stage like that. And he'll be very dangerous if he ultimately gets in.
And it's going to be an exciting showcase this year. Some incredible shooters, that's for certain. We'll keep you updated as we find out more.
Yeah, I think we're in for a real treat. I think the increased importance of the three-point shot in today's game has really shined a light on the talent, precision, and really the wow factor of how these guys can drill the long ball.
And Duran slams it in.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Now, here's Exum. Still scoreless. Pass to KD. And again, the Lakers, no good.
This is the definition of forcing it. He's trying to get himself going, but taking tough shots just won't do it.
Duran with the screen on Nurkic. And Duran slams it in.
Taking it to the rack.
There you go, Jalen Duren, 14 points in the game.
Down the two-hand slam.
Oh,
Drive, Doncic. It's good. Doncic has got 18 points.
I bet I broke my ankle.
On point from the opening tip. He's pretty much kept them in the game.
Duran with a screen on Vanderbilt. Hachimura with it. He's got 21.
And that's when they say you can't teach tall. This is where size helps you. Owning those rebounds on the defensive end.
Back to Doncic. Shot clock at 5. Durant wide open. He fires. It's good from long range. He's got 18.
Oh, that's too easy for KD. You just can't let him get a look from the corner.
Duran with a screen on Vanderbilt. And that one's good. Hachimura.
And his ability to efficiently score, that's really helped him out in this one. Putting them ahead on the scoreboard.
KD on the wing. Shoots over Kuminga. The shot by KD. No good.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
I'm sure they'll think twice about shooting against him next time.
Oscar, you're going crazy against this former team.
Scoring guard. Reaves looks for his spots and is proven to be a very good shooter.
So it's the Lakers now, following the score by the Force. And here is Doncic. He's got 18. And the Lakers hit it again from deep.
This is a game plan for him. He's a big part of their floor space.
Yeah, and you got to know where he is at all times, especially when he's roaming around the perimeter ready to fire.
And so the timeout by Will Hardy here. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes.
And with the break here, let's look at the stats for Doncic. And he's in the top 5 in assists per game as well. He sees the floor and makes the game easier for his teammates.
And the only way you average top 3 in points if you have that
He's won 2 Super Bowls. They've been to 3.
go-to guy. And everyone else knows it as well. It's time to send it over now to our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks a lot. The Doncic
Yes, it does. He has more championships.
said it's the Lakers. So many
Yes, it does. He has more championships. Yes, it does. That's the whole point. How are you gonna?
everything left to prove, and that's the goal. I get to play in the great
Yes, it does, Stumpy.
and I'm excited for this new journey. Back over to you guys.
A new beginning. Thank you, Allie.
Okay, but he's won 2
The score by the Force.
and he's lost 1. John Snyder's not the best.
Green for Nurkic.
There's nothing that dictates that he's the best.
And the shot is good. The Pittsburgh lead has been cut down to just
No, he's not because he doesn't have the championships. He doesn't have championships, Stumpy. Yes, it is because he hired Pete Carroll.
now. Here's Kuminga.
How long has he been on the job?
Take note of, he's averaging over 19 points a game. Into the lane. Count that one. Kuminga's got 6.
When you allow good scores to get uncontested,
So they hired Pete Carroll before they hired the GM?
no wonder you're losing.
That's a great possession. Put your best players in a position to succeed.
Okay, so he's won 1 championship.
Stolen by Duran. And here we go.
Yes, and Howie Roseman has been to more.
Hachimura, no good.
He's won more.
Exum with it. Will bring it up for the Los Angeles.
He has the same amount of championships as John Snyder has appearances.
That will complete this 4-game homestand. Pass to Doncic. Now here's Vanderbilt. He wants to get it to Nurkic and does. Pittsburgh pulls it in. Duran's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Over to the wing.
Brother, you keep saying that he's the best GM, and he's not.
Now, Hachimura.
No, he's not. There's nothing that indicates that he is. Okay, Stumpy. If that's the case, I would think John Lynch would be a part of that. John Lynch is probably better than him at talent evaluation. He's just lucky. He drafted, I believe, if not mistaken, the only two bad draft picks he's made is Javon Kinlaw and Trey Lance. As a bad draft pick? You think Purdy's a bad draft pick? That is ridiculous. No, for what he was drafted, he has exceeded all expectations. He's Brock Purdy has led him back to a Super Bowl. They probably would have beat the Eagles this first time if he didn't tear his UCL. All right. So there's nothing that indicates that he's not. All right. If anything, I think the Trey Lance thing, I don't know why they didn't go with Trey Lance, but it is what it is. They got Brock Purdy. But to sit there and say that Brock Purdy is a bad draft pick as the last pick in a draft is ridiculous. All right. And I'm not even a 49ers fan. That